I call this our royal court. You're the queen, and you've got this royal court. Now, like you said, you're always in your mind, which means you're always hanging out with the smartass. That's the smartass that works for the queen. That's your mind. And in your case, yes, your mind is very active. But your mind the smartass needs to interview your feelings and needs to interview your heart. Good morning, my friend, and welcome now to Tuesday. Well, today it's time to decide, are you going to go with your heart and go for the gold, or are you going to sit this one out? From my smartphone to yours, keep streaming for your Tuesday Namaste today. Welcome to Namaste Today, an empowering way to start your day. I'm your host and spiritual life coach, stepº17. I work in the modality of psychic astrology, and I'm on a personal mission to stand in my heart and help raise the vibration of love on earth. Namaste, my friend, and welcome now to Tuesday. Well, today the Great Human Walk has reached a place in Leo where it's time to make a decision about what your heart wants and get ready to go for it. And in today's Megascope, I'll give you 3 steps you should consider before you jump for that love. But first, let's take a look at today's moods and your weekly zodiac weather. This zodiac weather is for Tuesday, August 9, 2016. Looking ahead at the 5-day moodcast, tomorrow will be humid with a chance of some minor anxiety. Thursday, the moon crosses Mars, and so things will get sunny and excitable. And Friday, it's overcast with a chance of showers. But today I predict sunny and sharp, my friend. You are ready to leap for the sun. Now, the Great Human Walk has reached step 17, Leo. That means our ruling channel is channel 8, I decide. And that means our ruling planet is Saturn retrograde. Now, our emotional focus is defensive and guarded. The moon is in Act 1 of Scorpio. And our mental focus is also prone to being spooked out. That's because Mercury's at step 13, Virgo. So with all this defensiveness and maybe freaking out a little bit, today in your Megascope, I'm going to give you 3 steps to committing to your love. But first, let's take a break from all that, grab yourself some tea, and let's have our tea time. Hello, my friend, and welcome to our tea time. Today's tea time topic is Lightworkers must now charge for their services. And I will explain. First, I'll share a little bit with my own story. At first, when I first started getting into astrology and advice, I never charged for my services. And I once shared the story where I was giving it away all the time at work, constantly doing readings for everyone. And it was a Scorpio girl and a friend who said, you cannot keep giving this away. All right, so that was the first time where I started to have this debate with myself about whether or not I should be charging for something good or not, and I was really conflicted about it. But I also am very talented at it, and I appreciated it. And I think in my mind, I kind of looked at it as a tip in my head, even though I was getting paid for it. But then as time went on, and I actually transitioned into being a professional reader, I observed many things about money being involved with light work. First of all, I have to say that beyond a shadow of a doubt, once I started charging for my readings, the people took what I said seriously. They also respected what I said, and they also applied the advice. So when I was giving away for free, a lot of the people were disrespecting what I said. They were not listening to me. They didn't necessarily apply the advice, and so it was really disheartening when I was just giving it away. So as soon as I started charging, I saw right away, wow, people are really respecting it. The other thing I noticed right away was it separated people who were serious about growing, and from the people who weren't serious. People who aren't serious about their joy are not willing to pay for it. And I honestly, just as a practitioner, got really tired of talking people into happiness. You know what I mean? Like, I decided I'd rather work with the people who already decided that they want happiness. So that was a clear line too. The people who were willing to put money down, I found, were more serious about it. But also, I had a little, this one moment in my moment of charging, and that was that I was afraid of closing out to people who really needed me. But my spirit guide said, no, you have to raise your prices now. Trust us. So the cool thing is when my guides tell me to do something, it's really easy for me to obey. I will admit that I was like looking like with my left eye, like waiting for it all to fall apart, but I raised my prices. And lo and behold, I did very well, and I was able to, provide for myself at that point in my life. And a few people came in, and I asked them, they'd said to me, wow, I'm really lucky to get this reading. And I was like, oh, I just raised my prices. Is it out of your reach? And they said, oh, yeah, completely out of my reach. I could never afford you. And I was like, oh, how did you get this reading? And they said, oh, someone gave it to me. And I realized, you know what? If I charge what I feel what I deserve, Spirit will find a way to help the people who need to be helped. Spirit will find a way to give them the money to get the reading. Spirit will find a way. So I had a better conscience about it. But now that I've been in business for a while and I've started to see certain things, and I also have so many of my followers and clients are practitioners. You are people who give it away. You are people who want to make money at it. I can't tell you how many readings, or I'm talking to my client into getting ready to go ahead and charge. And I want to tell you that I think that it really separates. Well, there's two things I want to tell you. One, I think it's time, and I'll talk about that in a second. But two, I think that at minimum, it's necessary for a person to at least do a trade. And that's how I started getting going at first for people who didn't have the money. I was like, I'll do a trade for you. Buy me dinner, or take me out to dinner, or do my laundry. You know what I mean? Like an hour of my time is an hour of your time. And I made that at least the bare minimum. I will say that as soon as I was barely getting by when I didn't charge. I had God would come in with hallelujah moments, barely getting by. Once I was charging, I was getting by so well, I couldn't even believe it. I couldn't believe that money kept coming in and that new business kept coming in. The universe actually gave me more money when I expected to be paid than it did when I was grateful for what I got, so to speak. So I want to share that. But I want to also share one other aspect of this, which is my astrological advice. We are at a point now with Pluto in retrograde, and Pluto goes direct in September, I believe. I looked this up a little earlier before here. I believe the end of September, yes. But Pluto's at a point now where our business, our economy is changing. You've probably seen that a lot of the old business is falling apart. Old business as fear business, or catfish business that lives off the scraps of people already decaying and having a hard time. So that kind of business is going to die. I don't believe it's going to be successful anymore in the future. And I believe that the new business that's going to be the greatest business will be human development. I think as robots start to pick fruit, the number one thing on earth is going to be helping people become what they want to become, which means the Lightworkers need to go into business now. Now, there was a time when I thought maybe we should give it away for free and we should put it on the internet and all this sort of thing. But now I believe that we should actually show the world what the value is of the time and space we spent to heal ourselves, and time and space we spent to learn our craft. And we should all be charging, or at least doing trades at this point. But Pluto in Capricorn says the old business model must die and the new business model must be born. The new business model is that you get paid for the knowledge that you have, that you get equal work for equal pay. That's the new business model. And so I have to say, I really think it's time for all Lightworkers to charge for their services. The last thing I'll say is Saturn is in Sagittarius, and Saturn goes direct on August 15th. And what that also means is that it's time to make business, Saturn, out of information. So even if you don't feel ready, this is an information resurgence, a teaching resurgence, and you should catch the wave and start charging right now. I'll be doing extra little advice for how to charge and whatnot in further videos. But first, For all those who don't do this for a living, and thank you for your patience if you don't do this for a living, I want to do a little treat for those who do. I'm going to take a sip of my tea now and 3 breaths and see what my guides have to say about this glorious Tuesday. Okay, so today I'm definitely feeling an impatience, and part of the impatience is that things are almost ready to act, things are almost ready to move forward. Okay, but part of it also is um, life is changing, and so your boundaries may have to. All right, so I think that if you are irritable and grumpy or having a hard time in the beginning of today, it's likely due to the fact that a door is unlocked, a window is open, and you haven't taken the time to address it. And so what that builds is like a subconscious anxiety. And because we're in Leo and it's all about our hearts right now, that anxiety can go straight to the heart. So you definitely want to make sure you feel good today, and make sure you have some sacred space, because really what you're trying to do is get to exactly what it is your heart is going to commit to, and you have to get the silly vibrations out of the way before you can make that commitment. All right, so I'm going to give you 3 steps today to committing to love to help you on your way, so to help you make that commitment today to what you love. Step 1, you must take time and space alone today. You must take time and space alone. On the toilet doesn't count. In the car driving kind of counts. Okay, like really your soul knows the difference when you're lying. So you might be able to fake it in bed or in an orgasm, but you can't fake it with yourself. So take time with yourself today, some alone time. Step 2, ask, what does my heart really want? While no one's listening and no one can care, what does my heart really want? And step 3, ask, hey, Spirit, are there any risks involved? You know what I mean? So when you ask your intuition for any risks, you eliminate like a warning from Spirit. And basically, that is how you will know. You have to, in order to commit to what you love, you have to feel safe, and you have to ask your heart honestly, and then you have to ask your Spirit if there's any problem with that. All right, for those who watch over my personal Sensei service, I'm so grateful for those who subscribe, by the way. It keeps me on the air. Today in your Daily Zen, I'm going to talk about the Royal Smartass, an introduction to why I call it the Smartass, that is your mind, and how to have some playful fun with yours. And today in your 3 o'clock eye candy, I'm going to outline where you must think differently today, because Mercury's at step 13, Virgo. Where today must you think differently? For everyone else, if you're watching on YouTube, please be kind and do subscribe. I thank you ahead of time. And if you'd like to follow me on Twitter, you can follow me at cwateki. And if you'd like to see the mothership of light, come on down to seriousjoy.tv, where we'll help you be the bright star that you really are. And this week, I am doing a reading sale still. Basically, I decided I'm going to just sell my whole inventory out for the fall, because I'm releasing new technology, and I'll actually be pulling back from the reading business a bit after this season. So I'm just going to go ahead and book up my fall, and you can jump on this right now if you'd like to save $50 on a 1 hour and $25 on a half hour, even like $5 on a 15. Come on down to seriousjoy.tv. More information about that there. All right, my friend. So grateful to be a soul service. Thank you for coming down. Thanks to everyone who leaves comments. Thanks to everyone who shares me with your friends and family. That's so beautiful. I'll see you in 24 hours with more. Please remember that I love you, and live love be.